Liam, congratulations, a perfect end to a crazy week for you. Just sum up your emotions if you can.
Look, I'm delighted for everybody associated with the club. I think it's not easy when change happens. So I think it's been a bit of a whirlwind week, obviously, coming up and obviously having limited time with the group. But I think, how they've responded, what we asked them to do, the energy, the atmosphere in the place. It's a special day, to be fair. I thought it was a few people asked me, would it be a game that you'd want to open with? And too right. I've been quite clear on that, and you see why at the end. I think the fans staying behind, the energy through the game. It's a fantastic day.
The reaction that you had, not only from the players but the stands, was outstanding from minute one. The reception you had, how did that make you feel?
Look at it. A special moment. Like I say, I keep coming back to it, and I think it's you see the lads today. I think the lads left everything out there, and again, I think the fans get that. I said it in my press, I think yesterday, around importance of behaviours and earning the right to get the fans behind us, and then there'll be moments where we'll have a tough time and we'll need the fans to pull us through, and that's what we're trying to do here. I think we've all got the same goal. We want to achieve the same things, and if we can create more moments in the atmosphere like we did today, for me, this club can be a force.
In the first half, especially with 11 men on the pitch, Bradford barely got into our territory at all. It was one-way traffic. How happy were you with the performance?
Of course, look, I think for me, you have to be careful not to give the lads too much information, change too much. There's always be careful of what we introduce. I think, the foundations have to be built on a lot of what you saw first half, real intent, real purpose, real desire to run, to compete, to show aggression. I thought we showed that. Of course, we've got so many areas still to improve. So again, I'm not getting carried away to think we've cracked it and, we're by any means the finished article, but as a starting point, like I said, first half we could have arguably been more ahead. So again, I think then to have that in terms of the control of the performance first half, it's a different one second half, where it's the control out of possession and the culture and the togetherness and the spirit that we showed. Are two different qualities that I think as a team will stand us in good stead.
The only thing on the pitch, perhaps, to take the gloss off it all is Marcus was getting 2 yellow cards. He was outstanding before that. His first league start for the club as well. It's a shame to be missing him now.
Yeah, of course. I think it's obviously a big decision to throw him in. I think in when you look at what he's done, minutes wise and where he's at. But obviously, I know him extremely well. I've worked with him for numerous times over the last few years. I know what he's capable of. I think when you look at him and Ledo together, I actually thought they complemented each other really well, and it allowed us to dominate the game for me first half with them two. How they played together, and then in front of that, I think we've challenged the front three to be our best defenders, and I thought you saw that as well. So I think in terms of bits that we're talking about, bits that we're introducing, there was definitely it was a good starting point.
There was some adversity after when we had 10 men on the pitch, but the team really grouped together. The crowd got behind them, and they saw that game out really professionally, but really confidently as well.
Albeit with a load of extra minutes on the end run, which weren't needed. I think that's you have to find different ways to win in football. I think that's where there's we spoke in the press yesterday around philosophies and styles and what gets tagged to you. I think mine's always been built on teams and lads that are willing to work and run, and what we need to then do is obviously improve our areas. So again, I think it is. Like I say, excites me in terms of what I've seen today, and we have to sustain that now. It's no good doing that and then not turning up on Tuesday and hitting the same level of intensity and fight and aggression and all the behaviours that I speak about. So that's the benchmark. That's what I expect from the players, and hearing them in there, some top characters. I think they've driven a lot today. I think that's been quite nice to hear in terms of especially how myself, Martin, and staff have obviously done a fantastic job. I think this week in terms of helping us to settle and get up to speed quickly. I think that's key in that, and then we want players to with the experience we've got to drive it, to own it. Especially as, like I say, when the game starts, me and Martin are shouting like crazy, probably more for us than the lads, as they can't hear us when such an electric atmosphere. So it's one of those where we need the Ledos, we need Alfie, we need Lowy, Muzzy. You need those guys to talk on the pitch and communicate and organise, and you saw so much of that today.
That last 20 minutes, 15 minutes felt like it dragged on forever, as you say, hearts in mouths. How are you? Have you missed that?
My heart hasn't. I can tell you that. Trust me, I feel every single emotion. I think every fan in the stadium does. I'm so desperate to do well. So, of course, it's a privilege to do what I do. I've made a lot of sacrifices. I've worked extremely hard to be able to do what I do. And like I said, I'm delighted to be here. And again, I think, you know, I'm delighted that we can send the fans home happy. I know the importance of the game for them, obviously. So yeah, delighted that we can have, you know, that moment at the end and send them home, you know, to have a couple of beers and enjoy their weekend.
Liam, congratulations.
Thank you.